and welcome. I'm Mr. Gnosic. I'll be your math teacher this year. I've been teaching since 1991, so let me figure that out. That means I've been teaching since for 31 years. I guess it's been a little while. And I've been teaching at Inspire since 2014, so this is now my 9th year teaching for Inspire Academy. Let me tell you about some of the things I like to do. I love to play classical guitar. I started teaching guitar, playing guitar, started learning guitar when I was 12. I taught guitar a little bit while I was in college, and I do actually have a couple of guitar students now. It's kind of fun as well. I sing in an octet, gospel octet. That's 8 people singing, and we have a pianist accompaniment, and I enjoy singing and making music. I also direct a small choir, and that's kind of fun. When I go out on Thursday nights, I play volleyball. We find a local gym, and we play a little bit of a impromptu volleyball, and that's a lot of fun. I'm not as athletic as some other people, but I enjoy the game, and it gives me good exercise. I'll tell you a little bit about my family. My wife, Sandra, and I have been married now for 30 years. We had our 30th anniversary just in June 15 this year. So we've been together for 30 years and hope to be together for 30 more. You know, and we have in our journey we adopted 2 children. We were unable to have children of our own, so we adopted and love them, and they're wonderful additions to our family. Our first child is Abby, or Abney. Abney was born in 2004, and she has been with us since she was 2 months old. And Ivan, we adopted him in 2016 when he was just born. He was a brand newborn, and he is now 6 years old. He's full of energy. He annoys his sister to no end, and she picks on him to no end, and so it's a wonderful sibling rivalry, as you can imagine. Well, that's enough about me. So I'm going to have Spike, my buddy Spike. He's going to tell you a little bit about how to get help. Spike, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Gnosic. That's so totally cool, man. Get my hair out of my mouth. Yeah, I want to tell you how to get help. Because getting help is all about learning mathematics. And you can't learn mathematics necessarily on your own. You need to get help, man. Because help is totally cool. Now, there are several things you can do if you need help from Mr. Gnosic. First, you can call Mr. Gnosic. Call Mr. Gnosic. His number is 208-598-8238, man. You can call that number. It's right up here. Right up here, yeah. Yeah, it's right up here, and you can call Mr. Gnosic that number. Now, just so you know, he may not answer because he might be helping another student, and that's okay. You can just leave a message, because if you leave a message, he'll know that you called, and he'll give you a call back. Now, that's the secret. You got to leave a message, you know. Well, you know, you can also text Mr. Gnosic at that number, because Mr. Gnosic is in the modern age. He's hip and cool with it, man, because he can text. He can text like nobody's business. In fact, he has a special program. He texts on his computer. It's really cool. Yeah, so he can text you back, and we can set up a time to get help. Now, you can also use webmail. Webmail is this really cool program within your Inspire Pearson software. It's called Connexus.com, actually. But in that software, there's this communication email message program that is secure, so you won't get any spam or nothing on it. And that's really cool. That's really cool, man. And so you can write Mr. Gnosic a message, and he'll get back to you sometimes in the next few minutes, but it's certainly within that day. And then then you can book time with Mr. Gnosic, and by using his You Can Book Me program. His You Can Book Me program is awesome. It's Richard Gnosic inspire.youcanbook.me, and you can go on that webpage and you can book yourself a half hour, or you can book yourself 2 half hours together, and for a whole hour of help with mathematics, because sometimes you just need help. And don't forget the final thing, Mr. Gnosic keeps all of his information about his classes and the help files and videos on how to do stuff. He keeps them all on his website. His website's called Weebly, and it's rgnosic-inspire.weebly.com, and you can find that on Mr. Gnosic's website. You can also find it linked in your course in the introductory page to many of your lessons. So don't forget about Weebly.com. And that's how you get help. Back to you. Well, that's amazing, Spike. Thanks so much for helping us out there. Now, I've got another friend. His name's Billy Bob. Billy Bob and I have been buds for a long time, and he's going to tell us how to get help when you need help. Take it away, Billy Bob.
Well, Mr. Gnosic, thank you very much. I don't know much about all kinds of things, but I do know how a good student behaves and gets help when he needs it. There's a couple of things you got to do if you wants to be a good student and you wants to learn your mathematics. The first thing is, that's one. The first thing is you got to work every day. Every day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, wait a minute, I missed one. Thursday, Friday. You got to work every day of the week. Now, don't work yourself 7 days a week, because that ain't healthy. Because that'll wear you out, and that's not a good thing. But you got to work at least 5 days a week, and I recommend 5 to 5.5 hours of work every day. Every day you got to work on school, because you got to be working every day if you're going to make it, because otherwise it can get pretty overwhelming. Now, another thing, number 2, I recommend you use your planner. Your planner's very important. It's kind of like a calendar that tells you where you're supposed to be at any given day. Now, if you find you're getting behind a little bit, you're a few days behind where you shouldn't be, don't go crying and shedding no tears, because there's a simple solution. What you do is you do 1 day's worth of work and a little bit more. If you do 1 day's worth of work and a little bit more, pretty soon you'll find yourself just caught up, right? Now, the other thing you want to make sure you got to do your work in order. Because if you try to do lesson 3, but you ain't done lesson 2, the computer won't let you do it. It says, wait a minute, you got something else you haven't submitted. So if you ever find you can't submit an assignment, that's possibly because you're trying to do a lesson ahead of its time. Because you've got to go back and do lesson 2 before you do lesson 3. And I hope that makes a lot of sense. You got to do your work in order. Now, the other thing I want to make sure of is that you don't do what some of these bad students do. That's when these bad students, they notice something. They say, hey, this lesson I see it doesn't have no assessment with it. And I can just go up to the top of the screen where that little check mark is, and I can check that green check mark. Check that green check mark, and I can say I was done. But I ain't read nothing, I ain't listened to nothing, I ain't watched no videos, I ain't taken no notes, I ain't done nothing. Don't do that, because that makes it look like you're further ahead than you really are. But really what you need to do, because you got to go through and take notes when you do go through a lesson. You got to write things down. I don't remember nothing if I don't write it down. I don't remember my name if I don't write it down. You got to write it down. Write it down, and make sure you're working every day. Every day. Now, make sure to participate fully in the lessons. And that's really what I'm talking about. Don't just go clickety click, 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 click right on through as looking without reading, without writing, without paying attention, without taking notes. And finally, number 4, make sure you seek help. You know, if you don't understand something, you're the first one to knows it. Because Mr. Gnosic don't knows it if you don't understand. You knows it right away. And so if you knows that you don't get it, then go to Mr. Gnosic. Call him and text him and book a live lesson with him. That's really the best. Book a live lesson with him and he'll help you out. He'll help you out. And 5th, make sure to communicate. Because if you have something going on, maybe your grandmother got sick and you got to go help her with her chores around the house, and you can't do schoolwork today, let Mr. Gnosic know, or let your homeroom teacher know. You got to communicate. Now, I believe that is about the sum of what it takes to be a good student, but certainly there is more that could possibly be done. Back to you. Well, thank you so much, Billy Bob, for sharing that with us. That was really important information. And I have just one more friend that would like to have something to say. His name's Captain Oblique. So, have at it, Captain Oblique.
Ahoy, me hearties, I be Captain Oblique. Avast your yapping, and lend me your ear for a yarn. Master Rick be a fine buccaneer, or shiver me timbers, I'll be hung from the nearest yard arm. Take it from an old sea dog, there'd be no finer purveyor of mathematical knowledge on the 7 seas. I know you get your sea legs, yo-ho-ho-ho, as ye put your backs into it day by day. Arr.
Well, thank you so much for that, Captain Oblique. Those are very fine words indeed. I hope we have a wonderful year. I know we'll have a wonderful year this year, learning all kinds of things about mathematics, but don't hesitate to reach out for help and contact me if you need anything at all or have any questions. If I don't know the answer, I certainly know who can, and I'll direct you where you need to go. Thank you and have a great day.